Hi, what is the largest Catholic church in Vietnam? Discover the magnificent Lang Van Church. When people think about Vietnam, they often imagine breathtaking landscapes, ancient temples, busy cities, rice fields, and beautiful coastlines. But Vietnam is also home to a remarkable Catholic heritage, with thousands of churches spread across the country. Among them are historic cathedrals, beautiful Gothic churches, ancient pilgrimage sites, and magnificent modern sanctuaries. But there is one question that many visitors and Catholics may ask. What is the largest Catholic church in Vietnam? As of today, one church stands out above the rest in terms of scale and worship capacity. Lang Van Parish Church, located in Ninh Binh province in northern Vietnam. After nearly 10 years of construction, Lang Van Parish Church was officially inaugurated on December 8, 2025. It is now regarded as the largest Catholic church in Vietnam, with a main worship space capable of accommodating approximately 5,000 people. But Lang Van Church is much more than a huge building. It is a story of faith, community, sacrifice, architecture, and the spiritual heritage of Vietnamese Catholics. Today, let us take a closer look at this extraordinary church and discover why it has become one of the most impressive Catholic landmarks in Vietnam. A church rising in the countryside of Ninh Binh. Lang Van Parish Church is located in Gia Van Commune, Ninh Binh Province, in northern Vietnam. The church belongs to the Diocese of Phat Diem, one of Vietnam's historic Catholic dioceses. The surrounding region is particularly beautiful. Ninh Binh is famous for its limestone mountains, rivers, rice fields, ancient temples, and spectacular natural landscapes. Near Lang Van Church is the Van Long Wetland Nature Reserve, an area known for peaceful waters and dramatic limestone scenery. And rising above this peaceful countryside is an extraordinary Gothic church. From a distance, the first thing that catches the eye is the church's enormous central bell tower. The tower rises dramatically above the surrounding landscape, creating a landmark that can be seen from far away. According to Vietnamese news agencies, the completed church measures approximately 108 meters in length and 43 meters in width, while its main tower reaches about 127 meters, including the cross. The church occupies a site of more than 14,000 square meters, while the total floor area is close to 4,000 square meters. The building was designed in the shape of a Christian cross. Seen from above, its cruciform plan clearly expresses one of the most important symbols of Christianity, the cross of Jesus Christ. A church built for thousands of worshippers. Perhaps the most impressive feature of Lang Van Church is its enormous capacity. The main church can accommodate approximately 5,000 worshippers. That makes it possible for thousands of Catholics to gather together for major celebrations. Christmas masses, Marian feasts, diocesan events, pilgrimages, and other important liturgical occasions. There is also a large underground area beneath the church. This lower level can accommodate hundreds of additional people and serves as a community space. Reports indicate that the underground area can accommodate approximately 700 to 800 people, depending on its use. This is especially important for a Catholic community because a church is not simply a place where people attend Mass. It is also a place where people gather. Children learn the faith. Families celebrate important moments. Young people participate in parish activities. Choirs practice. Communities organize charitable activities. And generations of Catholics come together in prayer. In this sense, the size of Lang Van Church is not simply about architecture. It reflects the needs and hopes of a living Catholic community. Nearly 10 years of construction. A building of this scale could not be completed overnight. The construction of Lang Van Church took approximately 10 years. The project began in the middle of the 2010s, with the foundation stone ceremony taking place on January 14, 2015. The church was finally inaugurated on December 8, 2025. That means an entire decade passed between the beginning of construction and the completion of the magnificent new church. During those years, generations of parishioners watched the building slowly rise. First came the foundations. Then the walls. Then the towers. Then the roof. Then the interior. And finally, after years of work, prayer, and dedication, the new church opened its doors. For the people of Lang Van, this was not simply the completion of a construction project. It was a moment of spiritual significance. The story of Lang Van Parish. The history of Lang Van Parish goes back much further than the construction of the new church. The parish was established in 1885, under the title of the Immaculate Conception, and belongs to the Diocese of Phat Diem. For generations, Catholic families in the area have lived their faith through Sunday Mass, daily prayer, catechism, Marian devotion, and parish traditions. The old church served the community for many years. But eventually, the growing number of parishioners created a practical problem. The old church simply could not accommodate everyone. Reports indicate that the previous church had only around 1,000 seats. As the Catholic community grew, a much larger church became necessary. The new Lang Van Church was therefore built not only as an architectural landmark but also as a response to the pastoral needs of the community. It provides a place where thousands of people can gather together under one roof. The beauty of Gothic architecture. One of the most striking characteristics of Lang Van Church is its architectural style. The church follows the Gothic tradition, one of the most recognizable architectural styles in European Christian history. Gothic architecture is famous for its pointed arches, tall towers, vertical lines, large windows, and soaring interior spaces. The purpose of Gothic architecture was not simply to make a building beautiful. It was also intended to lift the eyes and hearts of worshippers toward heaven. When you enter a Gothic church, you often feel that the architecture is reaching upward. The walls appear to rise. The columns draw the eyes toward the ceiling. The arches point toward the sky. And the towers seem to connect the earth with heaven. Lang Van Church brings this architectural language into the Vietnamese countryside. The result is a fascinating combination of European Christian architecture and the cultural environment of northern Vietnam. The tower that dominates the landscape. Perhaps the most recognizable feature of Lang Van Church is its central bell tower. The tower reaches approximately 127 meters, including the cross, according to Vietnamese sources. Two additional towers, each approximately 60 meters high, stand alongside the central tower. Together, the three towers create a dramatic composition. The central tower rises toward the sky while the two smaller towers provide balance. At the top of the church are bells that announce important moments in the life of the parish. According to reports, 3 bells are installed in the church, with weights ranging from several hundred kilograms to nearly 2 tons. Their sound can reportedly travel several kilometers across the surrounding countryside. Imagine standing in the peaceful countryside of Ninh Binh and suddenly hearing the great church bells ringing across the fields. For Catholics, the sound of bells has a special meaning. It can call people to Mass. It can announce a feast. It can mark a celebration. And it can simply remind people to pause for a moment and turn their hearts toward God. More than just a building. When discussing the largest church in Vietnam, it is easy to focus on numbers. 108 meters long, 43 meters wide, 127 meters high, 5,000 worshippers, more than 14,000 square meters of land, nearly 4,000 square meters of floor space. These numbers are impressive, but numbers alone cannot explain why a church matters. A Catholic church is ultimately a place of prayer. Inside Lang Van Church, the enormous architectural scale is intended to serve something much deeper. It is a place where people come to celebrate the Eucharist. It is a place where children receive religious instruction. It is a place where families come to pray. It is a place where couples may celebrate their weddings. It is a place where the community mourns its loved ones. And it is a place where people come searching for peace. For many Vietnamese Catholics, the church is at the center of community life. A symbol of Vietnamese Catholicism. Vietnam has a long and sometimes difficult Catholic history. Catholic missionaries arrived in Vietnam centuries ago, and Christian communities gradually developed throughout the country. Over the centuries, Vietnamese Catholics experienced periods of persecution as well as periods of growth. Today, Catholicism is an important part of Vietnam's religious and cultural landscape. There are thousands of Catholic churches throughout the country. Some are very old. Others are small village churches. Some combine traditional Vietnamese architecture with Catholic symbolism. Others follow European architectural traditions. And some, like Lang Van Church, represent a new generation of monumental Catholic architecture. This diversity makes Vietnamese Catholic architecture particularly fascinating. Lang Van and the legacy of Phat Diem. The Diocese of Phat Diem has a particularly rich architectural heritage. The region is famous for the Phat Diem Cathedral, an extraordinary complex that combines Catholic religious architecture with traditional Vietnamese architectural influences. Not far away, visitors can also find other historic churches and Catholic communities. Lang Van Church therefore belongs to a region where Catholic faith and Vietnamese culture have existed side by side for generations. The new church adds another chapter to that story. While its scale is modern and extraordinary, its purpose remains deeply traditional: to provide a home for prayer and worship. From Phu Nay to Lang Van. For many years, when people talked about the largest and most impressive Catholic churches in Vietnam, one name frequently appeared: Phu Nay Basilica. Located in the historic Catholic region of northern Vietnam, Phu Nay is famous for its magnificent French Gothic architecture. The church measures approximately 80 meters long and around 30 to 35 meters wide, with twin towers rising approximately 44 meters. It has long been described as one of the largest churches in Vietnam and was even referred to as one of the largest churches in Indochina. Phu Nay was also recognized as a minor basilica by the Vatican in 2008. But the completion of Lang Van Church in 2025 changed the picture. With its enormous dimensions and capacity of approximately 5,000 worshippers, Lang Van is now regarded as Vietnam's largest Catholic church. This does not make historic churches such as Phu Nay less important. Quite the opposite. Phu Nay represents generations of Vietnamese Catholic history. Lang Van represents a new chapter. Together, they show how the Catholic Church in Vietnam continues to preserve its history while building for the future. A church beside Van Long. There is another reason Lang Van is particularly fascinating for visitors. Its location is surrounded by some of the most beautiful landscapes in northern Vietnam. The church stands near the Van Long Wetland Nature Reserve. Van Long is famous for its peaceful waterways, limestone mountains, wetlands, and natural beauty. This creates an unusual combination. On one side, visitors can experience the silence and spirituality of a magnificent Catholic church. On the other side, they can explore the natural beauty of Ninh Binh. The region also offers access to famous destinations such as Trang Yên and the ancient capital of Hoa Lu. For travelers interested in architecture, religion, history, and nature, Lang Van can therefore become part of a much larger journey through northern Vietnam. A place for the future. Perhaps the most important question is not, how big is Lang Van Church? But, what will happen inside this church in the years to come? Thousands of children will grow up here. Thousands of families will celebrate Christmas here. People will receive the sacraments here. Pilgrims will come here. Choirs will sing here. Priests will celebrate Mass here. And countless prayers will rise toward heaven from this great church. Buildings can be measured in meters. But faith cannot. A church may be 108 meters long. A tower may rise 127 meters into the sky. 5,000 people may fit inside. But the true greatness of a church is found in the people who gather there and in the faith they carry within their hearts. A new landmark of Catholic Vietnam. Lang Van Parish Church has quickly become an important landmark in Ninh Binh and a major symbol of contemporary Vietnamese Catholic architecture. Its Gothic towers rise above the countryside. Its enormous interior welcomes thousands of worshippers. Its bells can carry across the surrounding landscape. And its history connects the present generation with generations of Catholics who came before them. The church also reminds us that religious architecture is never simply about stone, concrete, wood, glass, or towers. Behind every great church are people. People who prayed. People who worked. People who donated. People who waited. People who believed. And people who dreamed that one day their community would have a beautiful place where everyone could gather together. Final thoughts. So, what is the largest Catholic church in Vietnam? Today, the answer is Lang Van Parish Church in Ninh Binh. Completed after nearly a decade of construction and officially inaugurated on December 8, 2025, the church can accommodate approximately 5,000 worshippers and stands as one of the most impressive Catholic architectural landmarks in Vietnam. With its monumental Gothic architecture, enormous dimensions, towering bell tower, and location beside the beautiful landscapes of Ninh Binh, Lang Van Church is a remarkable sight. But perhaps its greatest beauty is not found in its height or size. Its greatest beauty is found in the faith of the people who gather there. Every Sunday, every feast day, every Christmas, every Easter, and every ordinary day, the church becomes a place where ordinary people come before God. They come with their joys. They come with their struggles. They come with their hopes. They come with their families. And they come with their prayers. That is ultimately what makes a church truly great. Not simply how large it is. Not simply how tall its towers are. But how many hearts it brings together in faith. And standing proudly in the countryside of Ninh Binh, Lang Van Church now represents a remarkable new chapter in the long and beautiful story of Catholicism in Vietnam.